Hello, my name is David Lumsden and I'm the Village of Glendale Village Administrator. And I'm here on this new edition of This is Glendale to tell you about the 2022 property tax levies that will be appearing on the November 8 ballot for Glendale residents. So there are two 2022 property tax levies that will be appearing on the November ballot. The first is issue 21, which is an 8.5 mil renewal levy. That levy has been in effect since 2012. The next is issue 22, a 2.5 additional millage levy. That is new for this election cycle. The revenue generated by these levies is broken down here. The 8.5 mil renewal will generate about $887,000 for the Village of Glendale. This represents about 41% of the village's general fund revenue. The village's general fund, as I've covered in previous videos and presentations, supplies funding for our police, fire, public works, and administrative departments. The new 2.5 mil additional levy will generate about $283,000 in additional revenue for the Village of Glendale for a total of about $1.17 million over the next 4 years. It's important to talk about the cost to the taxpayers when we talk about new and renewal levies here in the Village of Glendale. So with data from the Hamilton County Auditor, we can talk about the cost for each $100,000 in market valuation for a homeowner in the Village of Glendale. An 8.5 renewal levy will continue to cost homeowners about $229 per year. This is a continuation of your existing tax cost to provide those services in the Village of Glendale. The 2.5 additional levy will cost $87.50 per year, meaning a total cost of $316.79 per year per $100,000. This will mean a total cost of $316.79 per year per $100,000 in market value for homeowners in the Village of Glendale. Again, the $229 per year cost already appears on your current property tax bill. Only the $87.50 cost will be new if the levy is passed. As I've done in previous presentations, I wanted to discuss how the Village of Glendale projects the general fund year-end projected surplus or deficit based on the outcome of these new levies appearing on the ballot. For 2022, we are projecting a deficit of about $33,000. Continuing forward through 2026, you can see two different outcomes. If the 8.5 is renewed, but the 2.5 does not pass, the village can project the following deficits going forward into 2026, ending with a deficit of $365,000 by 2026. This is based on our best projections for what costs we believe will increase over these next 5 years. This includes salaries, supplies and materials, benefits, and other expenses that are paid by the general fund. With the passage of the 2.5, we anticipate a 2023 budget surplus of about $155,000. Now, it's hard to predict out that far, but based on these numbers, folks can get an idea of where we're headed financially over the next 5 years. One question that I received is, why does the village have 2 levies on the ballot instead of 1? The answer is complicated, but it's an important question and one that will offer some clarity for the structure of the village's levies. So the general operation levies, like the 2 that are appearing on the ballot as issues 21 and 22, will generate revenue for the village's general fund operational expenses, like our police, fire, and public works departments. So in order to generate what the village council has deemed to be a necessary amount of revenue to continue those operations, that $1.17 million that we've discussed before, there are 2 options. First, the option that appears on the ballot, which is the renewal of the 8.5 mil and then a 2.5 mil additional levy. The other option is to allow the 8.5 mil to expire and pass a combined new about 10.32 mil levy. With both levies generating the same amount of revenue, it's important to revisit that cost per $100,000 valuation for a taxpayer. So when comparing generating the same amount of revenue, the 8.5 plus 2.5 mil will cost about $316 per $100,000 valuation for a homeowner in the village. A 10.32 mil levy would cost about $361 per $100,000 valuation for a homeowner in the village of Glendale. The difference being about $44 per year. A good question to ask is, why is there a difference between the two if it generates the same amount of revenue for the village? And the answer is that because in 2013 the state of Ohio changed its laws that said that two tax rollbacks, the 10% tax rollback and the 2.5 homestead tax credit, are expiring for any new levies passed after 2013. The 8.5 being passed in 2012 is not affected by that. The 2.5 mil will be. These two percentages do not impact the amount of money that the village receives, but it does impact what a taxpayer in the village will pay. So despite these new levies costing more to an individual taxpayer with per $100,000 valuation, they do not generate any additional revenue for the village. If you or your friends or neighbors have any questions about our levies before Election Day, I'm more than happy to discuss them with you. I can be reached by email here or by phone at the village office. I encourage you to reach out to me and ask any other questions that you may have about the levies appearing on the November 8 ballot. And now, while I can't tell you how to vote, I hope you do show up on Election Day at Town Hall and vote. It's important to do your civic duty, and it benefits our neighbors when everyone expresses their voice. Thank you for watching This is Glendale. I'm David Lumsden, the village's administrator, and I'm happy to answer any questions or talk about a topic that you or your neighbors may have questions about on future editions of This is Glendale. Reach out to me at my email below, and I'd be happy to talk more about it for a future release. Thanks.